Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and today we are going to be having a look at Frog's GMC Stepside as well as his new GMC Fleetside. Now, his Fleetside is not in the garage at the moment because I've decided to do something a little bit special because these trucks, or this truck in particular, was one of the first trucks, one of the earliest trucks that he dropped into the game, and actually went back, very recently, he went back and completely reworked almost everything to bring it up to spec for what we would kind of expect out of the game now. And also he brought in so many other features of different trucks, new suspension features, new axles for the Fleetside that we're going to be looking at a little bit later, as well as new wheels and tires. Now, as far as the status of actually like being able to use this thing and drive this thing, all the information for that is going to be found in the link to his Discord in the description down below. And obviously these trucks are branded, so these are at the moment PC only trucks. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and walk you guys through some of the customization options of this thing, but we're not going to spend too much time in the garage. I really want to get to the driving so I can show you guys around what these trucks can do because I've actually gone through and pre-built both of them. Now, this one, like I said before, we've got 3 engine options: stock, performance, and upgraded. Honestly, the upgraded and the stock engines are really well within the vanilla performance kind of like restrictions, whereas the performance engine is going to be your kind of top of the line engine. Gearbox wise, stock, highway, and off-road, you're good to go there. Suspension wise, you got 2 options: stock and 2-inch lift. And then on this one, on the step side, you can go up to a 38-inch tire. Currently, we have a 38-inch Pitbull tire on this thing. And actually, some of the wheels and tires can actually be adjusted for different offsets. Like, for example, these KM3s are a little bit more set inside the fenders. They have a little bit higher offset. Or if you want a wider offset KM3, you can go with these and kind of pick and choose what type of wheel offset you would like. Next up, of course, we've got a standard single winch option. And frame add-ons wise, we got a toolbox, a bull bar up front that we can throw on, and a roll bar that can go in the bed if you would like to run that as well. I might actually throw those on for this particular run just so we have them in there. And wheels-wise, you have a massive selection of wheels. Like I said before, tons of different wheel choices for this thing. I've actually settled on these particular American Forces, but once again, wheels are a personal taste thing, and you can go with whichever options you would like. And you also have a full range of color choices, ranging from like the stock gray, which I actually really like. I think it looks really good on this truck, to just about every kind of bright color that you could imagine. And the paint is actually really nicely textured as well. And of course, we got beans on the dash. So let's get this thing outside, we'll fire it up, and we'll see what it can do. It sounds so good. And not only does it sound really good, but it also looks right at home out here on the very first Michigan map. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to take it out to Michigan as opposed to taking it out to a mod map is for a few reasons. One, because I feel like it fits the aesthetic of these maps really, really well. And 2, because I think it's always really cool to go back to where you started in SnowRunner, because this was the map that we all started on. This was the map that, like, for me, I had to try, like, really hard to even find the garage, and because I didn't even know what I was doing at the time, you know? I probably spent, like, you know, a good 30 minutes on this map when the game first came out before I even found out where the garage was. And I'm sure some of you guys have a similar story, although there's also probably some of you out there that are going to be like, oh my god, I found the garage in like 5 minutes. What are you talking about? And to be fair, I completely get that as well. But this thing, like I said before, it really can be adapted to almost any scenario that you want to use it in, whether that is a campaign scenario, or maybe a modded map scenario, or even a trail riding scenario. Whatever way you want to use this truck, it is completely up to you. Now, I'm actually kind of curious because there's a rock pile right here, and I can't help myself. Let's see. We have the all-wheel drive on. We have it on now. Diff lock's always on. Let's see what you can do, bud. Oh my god. Well, that's promising. Come on. Find something on the front axle. Find something. Find something. Bro, so close. Come on. No! I inched it too far, and it fell off. I'm trying to find just a tad bit of grip. Just a tiny little bit. That's all I really need. There you go. It was all in, like, the line choice, but, like, the fact that it just climbed right over all of that with really no issue. I mean, it never fell all the way down, so, I mean, like, hey, that's, to me, that's a pretty stellar performance right there. Now, the other variant of this truck, which is conveniently, you can see it right there on top of the platform right at the farm, that's going to be your Fleetside version as opposed to your Stepside version, and that one not only has a little bit more lift, but it also has portal axles. Now, the portal axles allow you to obviously gain a little bit more lift at the hubs rather than a little bit of a lift at the suspension, because it's already got a good amount of lift at the suspension. But once again, if I swap into the Fleetside and actually look a little bit closer there, you can see that there's a portal axle right at the end of the actual, like, axle shaft, or axle tube, I should say. And this one can fit, I believe, around a 41-inch tire. This one's got the KM3s as opposed to the pit bulls on the other truck. And let's fire this one up and take it onto some rocks and see what it's all about. Like I said before, though, I think these trucks just fit this area so incredibly well. Like, the first Michigan map, I would honestly be so incredibly happy to replay the original Michigan maps with these trucks, because genuinely, they look so at home here. They really do. Yeah, remind me that running over those gets me, like, wheel damage, oddly enough. Let's give it a quick mud test out here in this field. I haven't been in this field in a while, but, like, I feel like, if I remember correctly and my memory serves me correctly, the mud was pretty gnarly. Okay, yeah, it's starting to sink. That's pretty crazy. I mean, it nearly swamped this thing out. And I mean, these are very capable trucks with properly sticky tires, and it started swamping them out right there. Oh. It's fine and high until the mud starts getting, like, really, really deep. And then all of a sudden, it's like, nah, bro, you're gonna have to find another way back. Yeah, once the mud, like, becomes a little bit more shallow, you're fine, and you can just, like, throw it in high and rip. But, I mean, up until that point, it's a little sketchy. It's genuinely a little sketchy. I cannot get over, though, how incredibly well they fit this environment. And let me know in the comment section down below if you feel the same way. But it really does look, to me, like they add to the environment itself. I mean, it really feels like they were designed for this, not even just this map, but like this region in general. They look so at home here. Now, seeing that there's a rock ledge right here, let's see how climbable this thing is. Oh, no. All right. Yep, well, these old leaf springs are not the flexiest things in the game. Back her up. Hang on. There you go. You have to go at things a little bit more head-on. When you have leaf springs, you can't necessarily be quite as flexy. Now, granted, like, obviously there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh my god, leaf springs can flex. All you got to do is, like, take leaves out or, like, put the leaf over the axle instead of under the axle. And I get that. Like, I 100% support that. The only thing is, on this particular one, there's still a lot of leaves in the leaf pack, for one, and for two, they're still under the axle. There's a little bit of a gap right there, isn't there? And I'm kind of in a bad spot. Well, with a little bit of, like, adjustment help from the winch, we might be able to do something. And just inch the truck over. Oddly enough, that kind of worked. I mean, we're on the belly of the truck right now. But I feel like if I was to find just that little bit of grip that, you know what, forget that. I'm pulling with the winch. At least when I find a winch point that isn't breakable. Oh my god. I just need one winch point that doesn't snap on me. They all snap on me. Oh my god, they all snap. I don't think there's a single winch point around here that doesn't snap. Oh, that one almost had me. Oh, there we go. Finally, a solid one. Jeez, at the end of the day, that was like... Man, that was like the only one in this entire radius that was solid enough to pull this truck. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yep, there it is. Is that the solid one again? Maybe. Hopefully. If you could, like, just make it up like one of these, that'd be awesome. I love how I was like, yeah, it'll make it up these just fine. Starts to go. Yeah, it didn't happen that way, did it? Oh, bumped it in second, and that actually helped a lot. There you go. Considering the fact that these rocks are also just, like, set-piece rocks, they're not, like, you know, sticky rocks like you would see on, like, a rock-crawling map. I mean, this thing's doing a pretty dang respectable job. That's for sure. And look where we're at already. I mean, it's like, it's just chilling out up here. And look at that freaking view. Now, at the end of the day, though, that's not the end of the story for this truck. So we go back to the garage, and if you want to get a little bit crazier with it, and not only have access to a bunch of extra repair points, fuel points, and spare wheels, but you also want to do some kind of camping RP, you actually have a slide-in camper that can go in the bed. And I'm actually going to swap out the time of day here so you guys can see a little bit better. But look at that thing. That camper is so sick, and the fact that it carries so many extra repair points and fuel and spare wheels, you can also use it as a support rig. You can use it as a support rig, you can use it as a camping roleplay vehicle, you can use it for just about whatever purpose you would like. Now, I do have to go ahead and warn you guys, though, that if you plan on taking this thing down any, like, tight trails with, like, low overhangs, you will snag on them. Especially if it's, like, low-hanging trees or anything like that. You will snag on them, and also, it is a little bit top-heavy. He's done a lot of work to make it feel as, you know, feel as well-balanced and centered as possible, but when you add something that's that tall, you're going to end up running into some center of gravity issues. But let's see how we do. As a matter of fact, let me see if it wants, like, if I just drive right off this bridge, if it wants to flip immediately. Wow, no it doesn't. That's insanely impressive. Dude, that's so impressive. The fact that it was able to do that with this camper in the back is nuts. I tried putting it in high right there to see if I could, like, bump it up the rock, and actually, it did a lot better just in, like, normal automatic mode than it did trying to send it in high, so sometimes sending it in high is not always the best option. But once again, I hope you guys did enjoy this video and enjoy this look at this truck, and if you did, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.